What's up, guys? This is LKM Cherokee, and this is take 2 of New Japan Pro Wrestling's Best of the Super Juniors 23 recap slash review of days 7 through 9 due to the fuck up of the audio quality of the original video. Damn YouTube. So, we're gonna do this again, and if the audio quality is shit, we're gonna keep doing it. I'm going to keep doing it until I get a recording where the audio quality ends up just fine. So here we go again. So day 7, you got the A block. To the opening match, you had Volador Jr., Unbreakable Michael Elgin, Hiroyoshi Tenzan defeat Tomohiro Ishii, Will Ospreay, and Beretta of Chaos. Solid opener to start the night 7. It wasn't too bad. It was pretty fun. Then we had Jushin Thunder Liger, Tiger Mask, Manabu Nakanishi, and Yuji Nagata defeat Katsuyori Shibata, Jay White, Juice Robinson, and Bobby Fish. Another solid match. Another match that was pretty solid. It's always fun to see Juice Robinson talk shit to Nakanishi. Like, New Japan should seriously have a feud between those two, because I think it would be really entertaining. Because Juice Robinson, he's the man. Like, I mean, he's the young lion, but it's still funny to see him talk all that shit, though. Kind of sucked that they toned him down when he got to ROH for Global Wars when they had that pre-show match. It was really a shame, but oh well, it's ROH. They'll tone you down, so you can't really talk all that shit. But next match you had David Finlay defeating Gato, which was surprising because you really didn't expect David Finlay to go over. Because it's like, okay, this is another match for Gato to go over. Since at this point, I believe he's 0-3, or was he 0-3? I believe he was. Actually, no. He had a win over Bushi the opening night, so never mind. But Finlay got the upset win, and you had Gato pouting after the match, which that was kind of dumb, though. Don't really know why they did it, but did that point with Gato. But it was nice. It was their way of rewarding David Finlay for the good matches he's been putting on. So good job for Dave Finlay. It's the only match he ever wins in this tournament, so that's something that he can cherish. So next you have Bushi defeating Rocky Romero. This ties into the feud between Chaos and Los Ingobernables de Japón, where you have Bushi repping LIDJ, and you have Romero repping Chaos, since him and Beretta are there, Roppongi Vice. This is a really good match. If they gotten a little more time, it could have been one of the best matches of the night. But it's actually number 3 in there, in that slot, so it's actually third best match. And from that we go on to the worst match of the card. 8-man tag, Bullet Club's Kenny Omega, Yujiro Takahashi, Bad Luck Fale, and Chase Owens defeating Satoshi Kojima, Yoshitatsu, Captain New Japan, and Ricochet. You will never get you're not going to get a good match when it's a multi-man tag with Takahashi and Fale. Because those are the 2 worst workers in the ring. Third is Captain New Japan. So yeah, that match happened. Would have been better if you got that out the way in the opening. But it's there. So next, we get a better multi-man tag match, 6-man tag. You have the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada, Haruki Goto, and Yoshihashi, defeating Tetsuya Naito, Evil, and Sanada. This is to further the feud between Okada and Naito as they prepare to go into their World Heavyweight Championship match at Dominion. And it served its purpose. It was a solid 6-man tag. I've seen better from these guys, but it's not one where you want to skip. It's still an enjoyable match. You got some fun. Sanada ends up going over where he puts Yoshihashi in the Dragon Sleeper. So that's which is his new finisher in New Japan. I prefer the moonsault, the way he does it like Great Muta, where instead of getting height, he just does it like he doesn't try to get height. He just crashes straight down his opponent, and it kind of looks more devastating that way. So then we get Reborn Matt Sydal defeating Kyle O'Reilly. This is a really good match from these two. This might be just as good. This might be better than their match at Supercard of Honor Night 1. Like, these guys going at it. O'Reilly losing Sydal. I like Sydal, so I don't mind it. So, it's a good match. Sydal gets some points. You had O'Reilly working over the arm. Sydal will work over the leg for a little bit, but he didn't really go back to working over the leg all that much. It was just these guys being themselves. It's a usual Sydal-O'Reilly match, but it's a really good one at that. So, the main event, we have Kushida defeating Ryusuke Taguchi. Thank God. But this actually was a really good match as well. You know, Taguchi toning down his ass-based offense, the stupid-ass comedy tactics where he just hits people with his ass and he's doing these retarded taunts. I'm really getting sick of him doing the Nakamura pose. Like, give it a rest. Like, Rocky Romero doing the knee strike in the corner like Nakamura, like, I can handle that because it makes sense, because Romero is in Chaos and Nakamura was the original leader of Chaos, so it works. But Taguchi was never in Chaos, so why is he doing Nakamura's poses? It's just straight up stupid. But overall, this show, Night 7, it was pretty solid. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. So now we're moving on to Night 8, which, like Nights 2 through 5, it gets cut down to short matches where you only get 4 matches from the B block. And this was the worst night for the... Well, actually, this wasn't the night. This is actually a solid night for B block. Yeah, Chase Owens defeating Beretta, which, don't really care about either one of them, personally. Owens is just there as a replacement since him and Finley are replacements since the Young Bucks got hurt. And you got Beretta, he's there. Don't get me wrong, he's a good worker, but I just really don't find him all that entertaining. You know, I'm just neutral. Then we had Tiger Mask defeat Will Ospreay. Tiger Mask was actually excited, probably because he was going over in this match, so he put a little bit more effort into it. Nothing great, but it was just enough to keep you appeased, so keep you pleased. So then we have Bobby Fish defeating Volador Jr. Best match of the block of that night. These guys putting on a hell of a match. Volador Jr., I really want to see more of him after this tournament. I really hope that this isn't like once a year for him, where he's going to appear in the tournament and then after the tournament you won't see him for a year. I'd like to see more matches between him and Ospreay, as well as Fish and many other junior heavyweights. as well as ROH talent like ACH. So I'd like to see that. That is if ROH ever got a partnership with CMLL. But moving on, you had Ricochet defeat Jushin Thunder Liger. Solid match. Liger past his prime, but he can still give you a good match. Ricochet, he's showing that he's not a spot monkey. Because the whole common perception of Ricochet for people who don't watch him on a regular basis is, he's the guy who does all these flips, 450s and all that shit. No, he does more than that. Like, he's starting to become more of a technical wrestler with his matches. Like his match with Liger, he dialed back in all the high-flying moves. And it was more of a ground game, where you saw him do backbreakers, working him, telling a story. Like Kushida, he's the best junior heavyweight, but Ricochet, he's up there. Like, he's one of the best cruiserweights. That's a guy that New Japan should sign if he doesn't choose to re-sign with the Lucha Underground when his contract's up. So that would be a nice addition to the junior heavyweights, to where you could see him on a regular basis. Either see him there or in ROH. But overall, you had Night 8, 6.75 out of 10. Not quite as good as Night 7, although Night 7, you had 4 more matches, so it was a full show, but Night 8 got out to a 6.75 out of 10 based on those 4 matches. So it would have been better. Probably would have gotten up to 7.25, maybe 7.5 out of 10 if we got the other 4 matches. But moving on to Night 9, we're back to the A block. You start off with Bushi defeating David Finlay. Solid match. Both these men going back and forth. Like, David Finlay, that's a guy that New Japan should keep. Whenever they decide to put him on the main roster and have him as a featured talent, because he's a really good worker. He's the second best young lion I've seen so far. Well, actually 4th, because there are those other 2 guys, I can't remember their names, but they're ahead of him, along with Jay White being ahead of him, being a better worker and more athletic. But don't sleep on David Finlay. He's a damn good worker. Takes after his dad, Fit Finlay. So the wrestling gene does run in the family. But moving on to Matt Sydal defeating Rocky Romero. These guys had a good match, where I guess this could build up to an eventual actually no, it's kind of the feud between Ricochet and Sydal against Roppongi Vice. There was that dynamic since they took the tag titles back off Roppongi Vice back at Wrestling Dontaku when they lost to Roppongi Vice at the Invasion Attack, which it didn't make any sense. But that's another topic for another time. But solid match from these 2. And then you had Kushida defeating Gato. These guys put on a really good match. Gato doing his usual shtick where he would beat the shit out of Kushida with the ring bell hammer on the outside for a little bit. Kushida going after the arm. Like, Gato was really feeling tonight. Like, this was one of those nights for Gato where he was really on his A game. And he's past his prime, not like he was in WCW, like New Japan in the 90s, as well as WCW, because you saw him on WCW with the cruiserweights in the first hour. But Gato, he's another guy that shows that he can still go in the ring. So then we have Ryusuke Taguchi defeating Kyle O'Reilly. It was a solid match, but with Dick Taguchi really need to go over O'Reilly. That's bullshit. But you still had a good match out of these two. O'Reilly working over the arm of Taguchi. Taguchi working over O'Reilly's ankle to set up for the ankle lock. Which, yeah, Kurt Angle called and he wants that back, Taguchi. Now, overall, out of those 4 matches, based on those 4 matches, the Night 9, I give that a 7 out of 10. So imagine the rest of the card if you had if they were really good matches. And you might have had a shitty match involving Fale and Takahashi, but still would have been like 7.5, possibly an 8 out of 10 if you had the 4 to 5 filler matches that were cut out, if they were really that good. But that's it for days 7 through 9. So we're gonna upload this to YouTube, and if the audio quality sucks, we're gonna redo this video again. Gonna keep retrying until we get clear, good audio quality for days 7 through 9 of this recap and review. So that has been it for day 7 through 9. So if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you look forward to seeing more coverage of New Japan and Ring of Honor. So I hope everyone's having a great day, and I'm out.